Hello and welcome to Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Colred. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we are going to be talking about what you can do when you are not doing a fusion event. There is an ongoing fusion event right now, but if you have passed, don't worry. There are opportunities out there for you to get extra value for your resources and for you to make a lot of progress on your account. Now, whether you're an early game player, mid game player, or late game player, you can really take advantage of this time to do some important things on your account and make a lot of progress towards your goals. I hope you're ready for it. Let's get started. Just a quick reminder, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I do a live stream. We call it Takeover Tuesdays. We give away free takeovers for members of our Discord community, try to help them out with their accounts. So if you are interested in a free takeover, come join us at 2 p.m. today. Make sure you've joined the Discord community to get access to that giveaway, or just join us if you enjoy watching Takeover content. It's always a fun time. Okay, so there is a fusion event going on right now for Bamboo's 4-Leaf. I think this is a very good champion, but I have decided to pass on both of my accounts, both my newer account, which is about level 50, and my endgame account. There are typically 3 reasons players pass on fusions. The first and probably the most common reason to pass on any champion, any fusion champion, is because you don't like the champion. You don't think he's a good champion. You don't think he's going to add value to your roster. Now, that's an individual call everybody can make because everybody's roster is different and everybody's goal in the games are different as well. I happen to think he's a good champion. He's worth going for. I would love to have him on my new account. And I would even really enjoy having him on my endgame account, I think. But the nice thing about deciding you don't like a champion is it's less likely that you're going to get FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. You just think he's not that good, and that's fine. So you pass on him comfortably, and there's no guilt associated with it. Now, on my new account, I have passed for the simpler reason of the fact that I just don't have enough resources. And I think chasing after this guy, burning through all my resources, and then failing would be a lot worse than just giving myself permission to pass on this champion. I've done enough fusions to know that it feels really bad when you fail on a fusion, especially if you fail very close to success. So if you are newer in the game and you are in that situation, I would suggest that you consider passing on this champion, saving up your resources, and maybe going after a fusion in the next month or 2 instead. Make sure that you can complete that first fusion. Or you can also use this as practice for getting some of these rares and epics. That'll teach you a little bit about fusion events and let you know exactly how difficult it can be to complete each individual event. Plus, you end up with some pretty great rares and epics here. All of these champions are worth at least having, if not building, on a new account. On my main account, I've passed on this champion for a different reason. And I think this is a really important reason that we should probably emphasize a little bit more in the community. And that is that I am burned out on fusions. I have completed the past 3 consecutive fusions, and this would be my 4th. I have the resources to do it on my endgame account, and I do think that Bamboos is worth going after, and he would add some value to my endgame account. But I just don't have the energy for it. I can't get motivated to do it. I know exactly how many hours I would have to play in the game, and trying to do that, play a second account, make YouTube content, do my normal job, and still have a family life, that just feels a bit overwhelming to me right now. And so I'm letting it go. And I do have a little bit of the FOMO. I think this is going to be a good champion, and I don't want to not have this champion. But more importantly, I want to catch up on some sleep. I want to spend some time doing some other things. And I just know that trying to go after this champion would be very stressful. And honestly, I just don't want the stress right now. So if you are in the same boat and you need somebody to say it's okay to skip on this fusion, I am giving you permission to let it go and feel good about it. Remember that this game should be enjoyable, and more importantly, even than your enjoyment of the game, is your mental and emotional well-being. So if completing a fusion doesn't add some enjoyment or satisfaction or something valuable to your life, go ahead and pass on it. It's really okay. The game will be here forever. The champions will keep coming. You'll progress on your account without this champion. It is totally fine to skip on this fusion or any fusion. From now until the end of time, feel free to skip on it for this reason. Now, none of those reasons for skipping on a fusion mean that you can't also get value during a fusion. So we've already talked about it a little bit. If you are on a new account, like this is my new account, you can see it is level 50. I have already started to collect some of the fusion champions. In my roster right now is Selenia Nightcloak. She is the void rare that is associated with this fusion. I've already collected a copy of her and I have started to build her out. I have also gotten a Meat Carver Tolog, who's another one of the rares. Now, if I can collect 4 different rares, there are 4 different rares, I can potentially fuse them into one of the epics. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do that, but I will either have some valuable rares. All of these rares are usable, say, in faction crypts. For instance, Meat Carver Tolog is a reviver. It's always really strong and really advisable to have at least one reviver in every faction. That's going to help you 3-star all of those stages. So I've already started to add value to my account without the worry of going for the main fusion. So if you are on a new account like this one of the things I suggest is taking a look at the schedule of events. So you can go over here, click on the news. This will be up permanently. You see the Bamboos fusion, you just click read more. And then when you click details, it will take you to an external website where it shows you the fusion calendar. And you can look at the events, look at the rewards for those events, and decide how many of those events you think you want to try to complete, even if you're not trying to complete all of them. Based on the fusion here, you can see you would need one of each of these 4 rares to get either of the epics. There are 2 epics. I think they're both decent. I have my eye on Malekith Bloodflock here because I think as another reviver, he is also a reviver in the Knights Revenant faction. He's going to help me a lot with faction crypts. He's also a buff extender, which can be a valuable skill to have somewhere on your roster. So if I have the opportunity to go after Malekith, I will. If not, I will just take my rares, put them on my Faction Wars team, and be very happy with the free champions. Another thing I like to do on all of my accounts during a fusion event that I'm not going for is I check out the schedule of tournaments and the schedule of events. So here on the tournaments page, you can see you do have some tournaments and events that aren't centered around the fusion, but you also have the fusion tournaments. So I think of this like any other time. When there's not a fusion, there are also tournaments and events, and I always want to check out the schedule and look for opportunities to get extra value. As a free-to-play player, we talk about doing a double dip or triple dip or quadruple dip for your resources. So for instance, if you can do a dragon tournament, that's a nice double dip. You're getting into dragon to get gear and silver, and then you are also doing the dragon tournament to get extra rewards. In this particular case, some of those rewards may be free champions. In fact, they will be because it's a fusion event. But even if it were a fragment event, you could still get extra value out of completing tournaments that are out there that coincide with what you already want to do on your account. Also, and this is important, one of the things you should look at is all of the tournaments that are not associated and all of the events that are not associated with the fusion event. Because I'm going to click on this Tag Arena tournament. And one thing that you're probably going to see, I haven't actually checked this out yet, is that the activity level in tournaments and events that are not associated with the fusion are much lower. You can see right here that this tournament's probably already been going on for a day. And the top activity here is 1,080 points. That's the highest score in this tournament. Because this is not a fusion tournament. So there are a lot of players who are out there focusing all of their resources on the fusion events and ignoring any tournament or event that isn't associated with that fusion. This gives you an extra opportunity, if you're not doing the fusion, to focus on completing and maybe winning one of these non-fusion tournaments. So this Tag Arena tournament is a pretty good opportunity. You can get into Tag Team Arena, spend a little bit of extra time there, and maybe go for one of these top prizes. You can also see on the right-hand column, there are decent rewards there as well. So you can get those, you can get into Arena like you normally do, and you have a chance here to potentially get 6-star legendary Relentless gear. So this is one of the rarer sets in the game. Relentless gear can only be gotten from tournament wins, or at least, top of the tournament leaderboard. So take this opportunity to go after some Relentless gear if there's a tournament out there that you feel you can compete well in. So as you can see, you could get value from a fusion event, even one that you're skipping. But there are also opportunities for advancement in other places. Remember that when you pass on a fusion event, you are basically giving yourself about 4 weeks of a slower paced game. Raid Shadow Legends has slowed down for you now because you're not constantly pushing to complete 2 or 3 or 4 events and tournaments every day, because out of fear that if you miss one, you will completely fail the fusion event. So you can now start to focus all of that energy, all of that time, all of that attention into doing the things that help progress your account other than just getting a new champion. And there are tons of things to do. So on both my new account and my Endgame account, I am spending the majority of my energy right now on Minotaur's Labyrinth. Okay, so here I am in Minotaur's Labyrinth, and as you can see, I am grinding scrolls. Now, I have leveled up 2 champions. I got Frozen Banshee not that long ago, and I need to get her fully mastered because she is my new clan boss damage dealer. You can see she is 6-star ascended, but only level 50. Likewise, I pulled Stag Knight just recently, just this past weekend, and so I've got him 5-starred and leveling towards 50, and I need to get him his masteries as well. The 5 champions that you are looking at will be my new clan boss team, and I still need to max out scrolls on 3 of these champions. Athel and Runekeeper Dazdirk, the top 2 here, have their full masteries, but the other 3 don't. Now, somewhere along the lines, hopefully in the next couple of days, I will also 6-star Deacon Armstrong. So I will be in Minotaur getting silver and XP while I get my scrolls. So this is a very efficient use of energy, but it does take a long time. It takes over 150 runs at stage 15 to complete the mastery scrolls on 1 champion. So I'm looking at somewhere between 450 and 500 runs of Minotaur. That is slow. It is tedious. It also takes 7,000 energy, but that's energy that I'm not spending in the fusion, right? Even one Dungeon Divers event takes 5,000 energy during a fusion event. So if I just take one Dungeon Divers event worth of energy and put it into Minotaur instead, I am most of the way home on these 3 champions masters. Now, once I get those masteries complete, there's another area of the game that I want to focus on, and that is gearing up. Now, on my main, I don't have to worry about that as much, but here on my new account, I need to spend some time in both the Dragon Dungeon and in the Spider's Den to get some gear that I need. If we look at my roster, you will notice that even though I have 6-star Frozen Banshee, she does not have a banner yet. I simply don't have one. She needs additional speed and accuracy, some additional survivability, so I want to go hunting for a good banner for Frozen Banshee. Likewise, if Deacon Armstrong gets 6 stars, I need a banner for him as well. I'm also still running several 4-star pieces on some of my champions, so I'd like to upgrade those to 5 or 6-star pieces. So I can spend a lot more time and energy focused on just one dungeon, or just 2 dungeons. In this case, it's going to be Dragon and Spider. I'm not going to spend any energy in Ice Golem. I'm not going to spend any energy in Fire Knight, which is what you would need to do if you were doing the fusion. You would have to do each of those tournaments. So I'll try to do the correct dungeons at the right time for those tournaments, so I will get some extra resources from tournament rewards. But I will continue to farm those dungeons for as long as it takes for me to get some nice upgrades for my account. And finally, on my Endgame account, I am spending the time working on teams and team compositions, champion rebuilds that I need for other areas of the game. There are 2 areas that I'm currently focused on. One is Hydra Clan Boss, and the second is Doom Tower. My Doom Tower teams have been all broken up since I started doing content creation, but if you don't have a team for a particular Doom Tower boss, now is a good time to start putting energy and focus into that. You may need to level a new champion. You may need to rebuild a few champions. But now you can spend your resources focused in those areas to make progress in the place that you need. That could be Faction Crypt. It could be Iron Twins. It could be Clan Boss. It could be Arena. Right now is a great opportunity for you to start making incremental progress on all of your squads. Okay, one last note here about passing on these fusions is that you can also put the game down. You don't have to spend as much time in the game. So instead of playing 6 to 8 hours a day, maybe you can get away with just playing 2 or 3 hours a day, and you can spend those hours in your life somewhere else. Catch up on a little bit of work, spend some time with some friends or your partner. Do something with that time other than stress out about the game. Sometimes it's just nice to take a break from Raid. I play Raid quite a bit. Obviously, I'm a content creator, so I'm playing it more than ever before. And every once in a while, I just feel like I need to get away a little bit, take my dog for a walk, watch a movie with my wife, and not play Raid. So if that's how you're feeling, take advantage of this slow time, this opportunity when you're not doing a fusion to bring some balance back into your life and maybe put the game in a different perspective for a little while. All right, that's it. I know it was a rather short video, but remember, we do have the live stream later today at 2 p.m. Eastern, so please come join us for that. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely join our Discord community. Thanks so much for joining me. I've been Colred. I will see you in another video soon.